to the Divine Feminine Podcast, where I am your host, Priestess Haneera. Here I support women in learning and applying the Divine Feminine principles into their lives. We talk about lifestyle, family, culture, and spirituality, all from a traditional African perspective. Welcome to the safe space. Welcome everyone to episode 63 of the Divine Feminine Podcast. How are you? So we made it to the end of January, right? We're in 2024. Happy New Year to those who this is their first time listening or you didn't catch the previous 2 episodes. Happy New Year to you. And for those of you who have been following along and you're avid Divine Feminine Podcast listeners, are you working your plan? Is your plan in motion? It should be. So I hope everything is well with you guys. January was a busy month for us. In our tradition, we have a big celebration January 10 in Benin, where we celebrate Voodoo. It is the international day of celebration, January 10. People come from all over the world. And outside of that, our temple has other celebrations that we have in conjunction with that. I would dare even say sacred holiday festival for our culture. And so January is just a busy time. And so I'm all recharged from this really divine time and ready to come to you guys and teach and be present and help heal you healers out there. Yeah. Have you guys been listening to the previous episodes? Are you guys on Patreon getting your daily dose of medicine to heal yourself, you healer of this generation? I hope so. If you don't know, this is your first time, in February, we are hosting a 12-week boot camp. That's right. We are going to do a Heal the Healer boot camp. In this boot camp, you will be trained by me directly, intimately, with a group of your peers, other healers out here in America who are trying to make an impact and be their highest selves. And so I will train you on how to tap in to that energy and how to have a sustainable practice where you don't have to, always go outside of yourself. I will teach you how to go within and reharmonize, rebuild, and connect. And I will give you access to another layer of power. Yes, 12 weeks. It's going to be a great time. If you're interested, if you're feeling called, at least to inquire more to see if you qualify. Because it's not for everyone. This boot camp is intense. This boot camp is serious. It's for those who are truly working in their gifts and have answered the call. And there's a series of questions and conversations and divinations that we do to make sure that you are a good fit for this. This is not just an open roll call, but if you want to see if you are being called and this is for you, go to our website at divinefeminine.net and give us a message, okay? All right. Other than that, And that's the big thing. That's what we're planning for this boot camp, because, the goal is to train up and equip, empower healers to be able to go out there and serve themselves, their family, and their community. So this is big for us at Nausea Fa. But outside of this boot camp, the Sankofa program with the children is still going. We're in our second semester of this school year, and things are going well. We're starting to look at different land opportunities are being brought to us. We're not ready to purchase just yet, but we are looking at land. And you guys know me. I'll probably tell you after I purchase it. I'll probably tell you after I purchase it. Just because, it's just like a pregnancy, right? You really don't talk about it until you start showing. That first trimester, you don't talk too much. You don't tell many people, if anyone, about it. And so, that's kind of how we are. We got some things going. But yeah, we're starting to just look and see where in Cotonou or where in Benin we can find land to suit our needs in the Sankofa program. So if you know of any places, that would be really cool to have a school for our future generation of healers and leaders. Let me know. Again, divinefeminine.net. You reach out to us and send me an email. All right. So I've been trying to give you guys pieces of this Heal the Healer message, and today I'm gonna try to go a little deeper. We will see. But before I do, I want to also tell you about April. It's actually the end of March. I think it's March 26th to April 8th. We are having our trip to Africa. The cost is $3,500. You have to put down a $500 deposit. It's 2 weeks. And you need to be in the community, which means you need to have interacted with me before. If you're just listening to this and you want to come with us, your first job is to get in the community. And how do I get in the community, Priestess? You join our WhatsApp community. You get in touch with us and stay connected on Patreon. There's plenty that you can do. So if you are a Patreon member, if you are in the community, if you're one of my goddaughters or god nieces, then I'm speaking to you. Okay? The trip is amazing. People's lives are changed. DNA is activated. You guys have to listen to the past podcasts and see all of the benefits. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but just to be able to do the ancestral veneration ceremony that we do for all of your ancestors that are in the ocean and haven't made it or were taken prematurely due to the transatlantic slave trade or any instance since then. Just to be able to do that, to venerate them, that alone, and do that on the soil. And then in the history books for your bloodline, you will be the one who goes down and has to be acknowledged when the story is told, because you were the one who returned the blood home. That's powerful. Anyway, okay. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. But if you're interested, reach out to us. Go on the website or send us an email. Heal the Healer. Okay? You know, we do the Heal the Healer workshops every Sunday at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You go to the website, you register. And that's where you get an introduction into what I'm bringing you right now. Yep. You get an introduction into what I'm bringing you right now. And you get to talk to the healers or the teachers who are there within Naziafa. Okay. You guys know I'm traveling. If you guys want me, you may have to come to the boot camp. But if I'm around, I'll do the workshop. But we don't know. So you guys get me on the podcast and you get me in the boot camp for sure. Okay? So let's see. Heal the healer. Right? When you talk about the attributes of a healer, if you're listening to this, then you know that you have certain gifts and abilities. Whether that's clairvoyance, you can hear things, you can smell things. Your intuition is keen, just keen, right? You have an affinity for the divine world, and they have an attraction to you, right? Maybe it's the dreams. Messages get to you, and you're an empath. You're sensitive to energy. You actually have to put up boundaries, healthy boundaries, because you're just too understanding. Yeah. There's something that you need to know, and this is where my teaching is coming into, is that when we're talking about needing to recharge ourselves, I want you to think about just a plug. You have that cord, and it's the light in the wall. And the light is you, and the wall socket, that is the energy source. It's the divine. And the way that that light gets the electricity is through the cord. Right? The way that the light gets the power from source is through the cord. And so I want to use this analogy because we're talking about recharging the healer. And I'm attempting to introduce you to possible concepts, things that you haven't heard before, haven't learned before. And so I have to relate it to something that is remotely, close, so that you can have some reference point. And so I'm using a light and the wall or the energy source. Okay. And so that cord is your connection to power. Yeah, in the analogy. Because you are the light and the electricity, and the wall is your connection to the divine world. Okay. And you need to be recharged. Why? Because we just named all of those reasons why. Because you are an empath. Because you're always giving. Because you're always healing. You're always pouring into others. Whether those others are the children, your spouse, your students, your community, your parents, your elders. You're always giving. You're a giver. And so you need to, at some point, sit down and recharge. Yep. Be the Tesla. Know your gauge. Know when your battery is getting low and when you need to sit down, recharge. And how do you recharge? That's what we're talking about today. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper than that, right? We're going to talk about the science behind your recharge. And the reason we're going to talk about the science behind the recharge is because you need to fully understand what's going on so that you don't forget and you don't miss any steps. And everything that you're doing is intentional. Why? Because you know the reason behind it. You don't miss any steps. You don't take any shortcuts. You don't get lazy. You have the discipline that you need to have because you know the impact that it's going to have on your life directly. So we're going to talk about the science of it, the spirit science of it. So that cord. Okay. That cord is your connection. And it needs to be clear. It needs to be clear. There shouldn't be any blockages in that connection. You have to make sure you eliminate the blockages, right? Because if there's blockages, we know the electricity is not going to flow for the light. If we go back to that example, we know the electricity is not going to flow in the light. If the cord is cut and there's some blockages, if there's some tears, some rips, it's not going to flow. So we need to make sure that our connection to Source is clear. And your connection, that cord, for the sake of this lesson, is going to be called purity. Right? It's going to be called purity. Purity. Yeah. It needs to be clean, pure. Alright, let me give you a working definition. And those of you who work with me, you guys know this. I make you memorize it. It's a tool that will go with you for a long time. Again, I'm giving you science. Spiritual purity. Purity is the measure in which the unseen world will interact with you. You got it? Write it down again. Purity is the measure in which the unseen world will interact with you. Okay? So that's the definition of purity. That's the definition of a cord. Okay? And that's important because that's what we want. We want our connection to be clear. We want the energy, the messages, the support that we receive, we want to receive all of it. And the only way that we receive all of it is if the connection is clear. And that connection has to be pure, clean. Right? So I know you're probably asking yourself, well, Priestess, how do I keep it clean? What do I need to do? And this is where we get into a deeper science, a deeper understanding. We get into the science of understanding that spirituality has rules. There are rules of engagement in this existence. And if you are going to be an intermediary, if you are going to work as your highest self, as a healer, you have to learn the rules of engaging with the unseen world. Yeah. You have to learn. And it's better for you to learn as early as possible. Right? This is why we have the Sankofa program. But for those of us who are just now starting our spiritual journey, that's okay. You need to learn. So purity. What is purity? According to the spirit science, according to engagement between the human and the unseen world. Right? We need to talk about something. I have to give you an understanding. We need to talk about the human condition. The human condition, okay? The human condition is the condition that we are in as humans when we are in our body, right? Now, you know, normally, or I'll say indigenously, we believe in reincarnation. And so, in between lifetimes, we're just our spirit self. We are just a soul on the other side. Okay? But when you have a mission, when there's a destiny assigned to you, when you choose to come back to fulfill this destiny and this mission, right? You then take the shape of a human. So your spirit is inside of a body. I don't have to tell you that. That's something you've been living with. You know that. You can look at your fingers, your hands, you see you are a human. I am a human. But you are a soul inside. So when you want to connect to the other side and again access power, you can't do it your normal way because you are in a human condition. Normally, you would be able to interact freely, but you can't. You're in a human condition. So how does that play a part in your purity? Right? Because we're talking about purity. How does the human condition, a spirit and a body, the human condition, How does that play a part in your purity, your spiritual purity? What is true spiritual purity? Like, what is considered pure and unpure according to spirituality? There's certain, you need to know that, right? These are like fundamentals that I'm giving you. Fundamentals. And we're not taught this in our society. And it's very important for every human to know. And when we talk about it, you know, you'll be like, it's in plain sight. Why did I not know that? And you know why you didn't know it? Because this society tells us that whatever we want, we have freedom to do it. And when you become a spiritual person on this walk, and you are like just thriving and searching for that connection, you realize the options for you are not free at all. There's only certain options that'll take you to your desired outcome. Yeah? And so as a spiritual person, wanting to have a deeper connection and recharge and access power, you have to master purity. Yep. And in order to master purity, you have to understand what is pure and what isn't pure according to a science, a spiritual science definition. Rules of engagement with the unseen. Rules of engagement with the unseen world. If you don't have your pen and paper, shame on you. You better listen to this 3 times and make sure you get it down in your consciousness. Okay? Human condition. There's certain things. What is the human condition? There are certain things that we have to do as human beings that we don't have to do when we're our spirit selves. Those are the things that make up the human condition. There are things that we are limited to. If you don't believe me, try to walk from one room to the next without opening the door. You know, try. No, you will get smacked in the face. Well, you know, we have to open the door. We have to go by the rules of this existence. Rules. Because we are human. That is the human condition. And we need to understand the human condition, because if we understand the rules, then we know how to play the game. If you know the rules, you know how to play the game, and you can play it to win. And that's part of our problem as spiritual people in the West. We are born with these gifts and we aren't given the rules. If we knew the rules, we would play it to a T and we would win. I don't want to see you lose anymore. I want you to win. I'm rooting for you. I'm here to help you. They sent me to help save you. Because this society just, man, they come after your downfall. They're pushing you down. I want you to win. So I'm going to teach you. Okay? we're going to come up on the next episode, and I'm going to teach you more about what the human condition is and tell you what exactly is your condition. That way you know the rules and you know how to play the game. Until next time, be well.